CVA's Accura Series, Bergara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being sponsored by Tri-Green Equipment. Stop in and see them at 21 locations in Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee. They can take care of all your Honda, Steel, and John Deere needs. All right, guys, welcome back to the studio. Been sitting here talking with our buddy Parker all about your bow, and just one last couple of things I wanted to cover. First of all, where are your sights at on that thing, man?
There is no sights.
So tell me, how do you go about, and it's completely instinctive, so what would you say about that? Like, how does that work?
Somehow, every time I pull that bow back, that arrow goes where I want it to go.
It's just in your mind,
just happens that way.
It's instinctive shooting.
Enough.
It's old style shooting. If a lot of you guys might remember Dan Fitzgerald. Do you remember Dan Fitzgerald?
Do.
And he was now he hunted with a compound, set on about 85 pounds. I mean, really, he did. This was back in the day, you know, and no sights. And he is one of the deadliest bow hunters who's ever walked this earth. But a lot of people don't know about him, that he's actually blind in his right eye, which he should be aiming with. So he had to learn to aim with his left eye. Saying all that to say it's completely instinctive. He's just, it's like you tell your mind, and that arrow just goes there.
Where you want it to go.
And then that picture we saw earlier, I mean, you Robin Hooded that arrow. My point is, I mean, you can be very, very accurate with these things.
Very,
with
very
enough
expensive
practice.
too.
Yeah, it's expensive when that happens, isn't it? I remember Mama getting upset when I was a teenager. I'd get so excited. I'd say, "Look, I got a Robin Hood," and she just saw two tore up arrows. She didn't care nothing about no Robin Hood, you know.
Well, that the guy you're talking about there, Fitzgerald, I've seen him with just a recurve like this, pull up and shoot so fast, and shoot just for a demo. And it's instinctive because he's down here. He's not up trying to look down there.
I tell you, it's amazing deal the way it works, and you may not ever want to go back to shooting sights again. I mean, once you get used to that,
I'm going to shoot that forever.
Just going to keep on keeping on with it, ain't you?
Yeah. Well, Parker, I got to tell you though, that made us, Brandon and I were talking about it, it made us feel like we were in the hunt. You did an exceptional job on that.
Well, that's what I was aiming for whenever I was talking to that camera in the middle
Looking
of the
for more of it. It feel like you're talking to yourself, don't it? Well, guys, what do y'all think is going to be going on this weekend? I mean, like I say, I've seen a lot of chasing. Now, to set this up, I feel like here in Middle Tennessee, we're kind of in what I would call the chase phase. They're searching somewhat right now. They're chasing. Your younger bucks are really starting to chase around. But what do you think we'll see over the next few days?
I think they'll be moving.
I think
they'll be moving all hours.
Do you think those mature bucks are going to start doing it now, Mike?
Well, you know, and where I hunt, and a lot of people say Tennessee's Tennessee, but we have such varied regions.
Now, you're in West Tennessee.
And I'm West Tennessee. Typically, I don't even get any what we call shooter bucks on camera until late October, and we've gotten them earlier this year. So I think this weekend may be the weekend.
This might be the time. I think what's so good about right now is during this phase, you don't have as many receptive does, so those bucks have to travel a lot more, and it gets your more mature deer. Now they're starting to hit their feet, where even all the way up to just a few weeks ago, you didn't see them moving around, and all of a sudden now, you know, you get one on camera in the daylight, and then the next thing you know, you get 2 or 3 in the daylight, and it just seems like starting right now, just a few days ago, the switch goes off, and this chase begins. You know, the chase phase begins. Now, a lot of people say, well, when's the rut? When's the rut? The rut's a long-term thing. You know, it's not, it don't just start on November the 3rd and end on the 11th or anything. I mean, you know, the bucks, they're ready to go weeks ago.
When that velvet starts coming
comes off.
So
it's just a matter of waiting on the does. So that happens over a spread of time too. But it does seem to be, you know, you'll have that peak period, which in my opinion, you know, we'll come up on that about the middle of November. We're a couple of weeks off of that. But when that happens, that's when it's just really most of them are coming in. Sometimes you won't see as much movement at that time because they're locked down all around you. But a lockdown deer can be one of the easiest ones if you can ever get him locked down in your place. You know, that's a real good way to do it. But
yeah, he pays no attention to you.
But right now, that chase phase, it's also a great time. I mentioned scents earlier, but also calls. it's a great time for a grunt call,
Yes.
a snort wheeze, just a little light rattling segment. You ever do much calling, Parker?
I do a little bit here and there, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm not big. I don't do a lot of it, but I've been successful with it at the right times of year.
Yes,
like if you're
hear.
going to rattle one, this is one of the best little stretches I think in time to rattle in a deer for the season for us.
Well, and you've got that, and I was reading an article today. I think I may have shared it with you. I can't remember if I did or not. Somebody said start calling now with this weather change, with this moon phase and all of that. Call now and call often. And I've always been, I feel like I call too much if I'm calling once every 15 minutes.
Yeah, I started to say, I'll usually, I might hit a grunt randomly every half hour or so, but usually I'm calling to a deer that I have seen.
Yeah.
I don't usually cold call. I might do a little bit of light rattling cold once in a while, or I've rattled a lot of deer that I've seen that have been too far away and just give them. I think where some people get carried away with that is they, you watch them on TV and they've got the big 170-inch deer and they're smacking them together in the cactus up there in Texas and kicking around the ground. But it's not always like that. A lot of times less is better there. So, well, guys, I tell you what, we're going to get ready to take another quick break. We'll be right back with this week's calendar of events and some more Southern Woods and Waters.